Ladies and gentlemen, this is a news update from Fox 4 that came out September 11th, 2018. It's an update of two new eyewitnesses and what they heard the night that Botham Jean was killed. Let me go ahead and play this video.
New developments about the killing of a man in his own apartment by an off-duty Dallas police officer who thought she was at her own apartment with an intruder inside. Fox 4 News has learned two mystery witnesses who claim they heard something that has not been a part of any official statements will now be interviewed by investigators. Attorneys for Botham Jean's family say the mystery witnesses came to them and the family first and not to investigators. Those attorneys claim moments before Jean was killed by off-duty officer Amber Geiger, the women heard banging and shouts of "Let me in." Fox 4 Sean Rabb is outside the Southside Flats on Lamar Street with the latest. Sean.
Steve, so those two women we believe are sisters, and they've so far told their contradictory story only to the civil attorneys for Botham Jean's family. Now that will change. They will sit down with investigators, tell them what they saw and they heard, their version of those events, as those investigators try to figure out the truth of what did or didn't happen last Thursday night and then present a full picture to the grand jury. The district attorney's office and Texas Rangers will interview two women who we are told have a different account of what happened before Botham Jean was shot in his apartment by Officer Amber Geiger, who thought she was at her apartment encountering a burglar.
These are independent witnesses. They don't have a dog in this fight.
This cell phone video of Officer Geiger pacing on the phone after the shooting, taken by the women who did not go to police or Texas Rangers, but took their story to attorney Lee Merritt.
She heard pounding at the door, and she heard "Let me in," shouted by "Let me in," at an elevated tone. She heard more pounding at the door, and then shortly thereafter, she heard gunshots.
That is not the narrative of the evidentiary search warrant or Geiger's own sworn statement to Texas Rangers. Geiger told Texas Rangers in her statement she parked on the wrong floor thinking it was her floor, went to the wrong door on the fourth floor, not her third floor apartment, found the door ajar, saw a large silhouette moving in the apartment, gave verbal commands that were ignored, and fired at least twice. Botham Jean struck once in the chest and died.
Very unusual to have an officer in uniform and a shooting occur immediately after they're off duty. Very unusual.
Russell Wilson is the former prosecutor who investigated police shootings. Geiger's charged with manslaughter in Jean's killing.
I think manslaughter is the correct charge. I think it's an appropriate charge based off the information that is contained in the probable cause affidavit. Of course, if there's more information learned later on, those charges could change or be adjusted.
Manslaughter is recklessly causing the death of another.
Attorney Jeff Henley is not involved in this case, but has represented people in many excessive force cases, including police shootings, and says there is no question in his mind Geiger was reckless in her actions.
It was a series of things that this woman did that were absolute errors that built upon themselves and escalated to a horrific and tragic end.
So there's no timetable, the DA's office tells me, on when they plan to present this case to the grand jury. I do expect them to interview these two women witnesses sometime this week. I did speak with the lead attorney for Amber Geiger today. He tells me that he's trying to assemble a team to represent her and not yet ready to make any public statement.
So there you go. Two eyewitnesses say she pounded on the door and said, "Let me in, let me in." So that does not sound like somebody that went to the wrong apartment. It sounds like she deliberately went there on purpose. But please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. And think about this. Didn't she said the door was propped? Then why would you have to pound on the door and say, "Let me in," if the door was propped? You know, it is too many inconsistencies. It is very painfully obvious. This woman is a terrible liar. And for a cop, she's definitely dumb. She did something that she knew she could get away with in this country, you know, and we'll see how it all unfolds. And the prosecutor, I definitely don't agree with him. This should definitely be a murder charge, not manslaughter, especially if she knocked on that door and yelled, "Let me in, let me in." And she knocked on the door more than once. She did it a few times. Then no, this is murder. Please tell me what you think. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I will see you on the next video. Peace, family.